Welcome to the 999 Portal Open House. Gritting your light codes. We are dancing. I invite you to stand and dance with us. Sisters, the sisters are still joining. We move and open our bodies because everything is stored in the body. Everything begins in the body. So as we open, moving our hips, what do you need to land here today? Your shoulders maybe need to roll back, or a slight squeeze on the thighs to just bring you here and ground you. What is your body needing right now? Wanting to tell you, wanting to say to you? See you dancing, Nina. I see you dancing, Madalena. I see you, Elke, Joanne, Pippa, Jane. Welcome, Zoe. We're dancing. Welcome, Beverly. Welcome, Amanda. I see you moving your hips. You're in it, sister. So we're moving and dancing together. And welcome, beloveds. Welcome. Welcome to this incredible event, experience. So excited to see everyone dancing and moving in this. Let's just dance and have a party. I just feel like that's the energy today, like gritting our light codes. I couldn't be more excited to share this and just welcome gorgeous goddesses and luminous light leaders, and just feel like let's just say hello to each other and just invite you to put your hands up and just send love. And I see you, sister. I love you, sister. Sending your love and then receive it. How many of us don't really like to receive or know how to receive? We're givers, aren't we? So just receive that love and being seen, and how much you matter and how important your frequency is and your unique gifts. I see you, sister. I love you, sister. Just sending that out to our tribe today. And we are over 100 live and in replay. And in the middle of summer, I'm so honored at the devotion and I love it. And we're going to have so much fun today. And how many of you want to grid your highest codes and your heart-led mission and soul-aligned purpose? Raise your hands. So then you're in the right place, because today is going to be like nothing I've ever offered. I've never offered a how to grid light codes. I've been doing this for over 9.5 years, traveling the planet, pretty much living in vacation rentals. I had a 7-figure business in California. I built a clothing brand and I walked away from that. I'm going to tell my story about that. And I walked away from that and stepped into the unknown. I felt there was something, I was headed towards somewhere else in my life. It wasn't just about making clothing. I built a 7-figure business, and it took me 15 years. And then I chose to make that decision, that choice point, and I walked into the unknown. I stepped off the curb. Any of you, I was burned out. I was pushing myself. I was just empty. I wasn't even the nicest boss. How many of you have ever felt that way? Like you're just in that masculine, hamster trail, just not able to give your gifts. I knew there was something more for me. And we have sisters joining us from all over the planet in the chat. Oh, sisters, I love it. We have New York, we have Germany, we have New Netherlands, Canada, Bristol, UK. Hello, Maria. Celine from UK, Jenny from upstate New York, Elka from Germany. We have so many. We are gridding the planet, and I love that. I like to know where we're gridding from, so please post in the chat. You're going to be this isn't a monologue today, this is a dialogue. So we're going to I want to hear from you. I want to hear what something lands. I love feedback. So if something lands or you feel an aha, I want you to post in the chat, post an emoji, post a yes, We post YANA in our community. You are not alone. So if something comes in like, yeah, like I share something, you're like, yeah, you're not alone, sister. Like post a Yana in the chat, YANA. And just really, I want to hear from you when something lands, because if something lands, I know that that's the direction and that's what's opening. And that is what is going to inspire me to give more, because I love that. That's kind of like my astrology. I'm a Libra. I want to serve you. I want to bend and mold myself to accommodate. And that can also not be so good too. So that's something I've had to work on. How many of you have like the shadow side of your astrology you've had to work on? That's like the Libra in me. I have to like contort. I want to be your friend. How can I change and shift and forget myself so I can be your friend? So, oh, Selena, Leo Virgo. Oh yeah, don't mess with the Leo Virgos. They're going to organize you and they're going to be the star of the show at the same time. So yeah, no, we all have that, don't we? Oh, Wicklow, Ireland, Levite, UK. Welcome, Peta. Welcome, Zoe. So how many of you are new here? I see some new faces, some new names. Raise your hand if you're new to us. Like maybe this is your first time, second time. Welcome, sisters. Welcome. Well, let me introduce myself before I get onto my stories. I am Jennifer Ashira, and I'm the founder of Light Priestess Temple, the global brand and community, and I help visionary women and leaders to unlock their next level of greatness so they can awaken their soul codes and step into their next level and their highest destiny. And I've really been lucky and amazed, and I have to pinch myself. I've been able to activate over 7,150 worldwide to their next level of greatness, purpose, and mission. And it just has been an amazing journey. And I started sharing about how I stepped away from my clothing business of 15 years in Los Angeles, California. I built from $100 to a 7-figure brand. And I knew I was heading towards somewhere new. And I didn't know what that was. It went against every advice I received. How do you step away from something that is so incredibly successful? But I was so empty inside. I was dry inside. I wasn't even the nicest boss. And so I stepped off the curb into the unknown. And what I thought was going to be a 2-year little break, because I desperately wanted a break, became 5 years, became 6 years. As I unwound and rewound, I had to let go of a lot to open into who I was becoming. And it was not a quick journey. And it had me walking the planet, going to different sacred sites. I started moving up to Northern California from Southern California, then to Peru, to Bali, to Egypt, to the Mediterranean, to Greece, to all these different sites. A lot of times I lived there for 6 months to a year, and I would grid and I would activate. I've been activating temples of light, portals, vortexes to awaken the planet and the new age, and activate new earth, divine feminine leaders and light leaders to their next level across the planet. And it's been 9.5 years. I'm now back in California, my hometown in San Diego, where I was born and raised. And it's been a full circle journey. And how many of you have been called to go somewhere or do something, and it's like, you know it, but it makes no sense on paper. And so I shifted and I took that decision. I made that big choice point. I made that decision to follow my soul against physical business, money, wealth. I created wealth for myself, so I could do that. But I also wanted to do something higher, better. Didn't want to just make clothes. Didn't feel that was fulfilling the earth's purpose. Some more clothes, somewhere I did a lot of sequins. We're in dance and teen fashion, so we did a lot of sequins. And I felt like, was that my legacy? And so I stepped off the curb into the unknown and went towards what I thought was who knows what. I didn't have a parallel move. It was a no parallel move. It was the unknown move. And what I've learned is that is where transformation happens, is when we don't know, when it's that unknown decision. Those are the big decisions. And so I stepped off that curb. And today we're going to be opening into activating and gridding light codes within your home, within sacred sites, within your land and your being. And how many are like a yes for that? Yeah, so we're going to be stepping through that. And this is for visionary women and light leaders and wayshowers who are ready to share their soul gifts in a bigger way, unlock your highest knowing, voice, and truth, reconnect with the sacred lands and divine mission encoded in your soul. Just put a hand on your heart and one on your womb as we breathe to connect and to arrive today. And just connect to what your intention is for today. If you held an intention for joining us and activating this incredible power you have within you of light codes. And just gritting and grounding with your feet down into Mother Gaia, grounding, because if you want to go high, you have to go deep. And you have to create those roots and that foundation to be able to go high. So we're going to go high today. So I invite you to just put your feet on the floor and the ground and send your energetic cord, thread, mycelium, root network. You can go out wide or go straight down and go down and then connect to the crystalline golden core of Mother Gaia, her foundation, her support, her love. And just feel her love as you inhale up all that foundation of that love. I can really feel your hearts today as we're all connecting already. Inhaling all her love up through the terra, up through the layers, up through your root chakra, up through your central channel, up into your heart. Just envisioning this golden heart light of your heart just expanding with every inhale and exhale as we create our golden circle of light, our high activated container today. And expanding your heart coherent field, your auric field, 9 meters, expanding your influence, your capacity, your confidence, and your love. Just feel that now as we open this sacred space of our beautiful temple today. And for the woman and wayshower and visionary who's ready to remember her sacred priestess lineage from the temples of light and play your destined role in humanity's awakening, and to fulfill your soul-aligned mission and heart-led purpose. How many of you feel this is you? Like you're that woman, you're ready. You can post in the chat if you feel yes. And today we're going to, inside our gridding light codes experience, you're going to experience a practice where I'll lead you through how to grid light codes within sacred sites, your home and your body. And also gridding a sacred site that is special just for you and your path and your soul's next quantum leap. And you'll learn how vortex points awaken the sacred wisdoms within you and embodying your highest codes through connecting to the sacred sites of Earth, and why the Water Priestesses are being called back to Bali on the 999 Stargate of this year, and the sacred codes we leave for ourselves to reawaken when we return to the ancient temples, vortexes, and lands of our planet, and to access your highest intuition and connect with the highest beings of light, and how to sacred travel as a mirror for becoming who you truly are. Just feel into that. And today receive the vision why this exact moment on earth is so potent for you and for us. Does this feel like a yes to you? Because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to first start with a little bit about the context of where we're at on the planet. Then we're going to grid and do some fun grid practicing on the lands. And Maria, I'm not sure, but things are uncomfortable and I want more for myself. You're in the right place. That is just that witnessing that you want more, that there's something more. That's why I left my clothing business. I knew there was something more. And Spirit wasn't ready to show me yet. I wasn't ready. It took me 6 years. We don't have that time now, and everything's speeding up. So, and it's the first of the month. We're in a new portal, a new opening. This is the month of the Galactic New Year starting, of the astrology New Year. So this is a very potent year. And so there's a lot of new openings for all of us. That's why I'm so excited to be here and share this with you today. And for us to be together and connect and just kind of have that dance and celebrate each other. Is there anything you want to celebrate about yourself today? Please post in the chat. And this is where you meet in our community, this is where you meet your long-term friends, collab partners, maybe your next client. So write a message to a sister in the chat. Get to know each other. I want you to have one connection from today that feels like someone new in your life, because maybe someone that lives nearby you when you post where you're from. You'd be surprised. So it's really exciting. And this is where we connect and create that golden network of our family, our soul family. And today, for some of you, everything today is all you need. You're going to receive what you came for. You're going to feel so alive and in confidence and radiating and magnetic, and that's all you needed. And for some of you, you're going to want to dive deeper, and you're going to want to have more, and you're going to want to walk with me more, and do this in a deeper way, gritting light codes and activating your highest soul codes and healing the sisterhood wound and opening to your highest wisdoms and gifts. And I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm really excited. And some of you are already walking with us, and some of you are new. And so I'll be sharing. I'm so excited about an offering where you can walk deeper with me. And for some of you, that's exactly what you're going to be wanting. And so we have all different needs and wants, and that is for us to have exactly what is next for us on our path. How many are yes to have exactly what you want next for you on your path, to take you what those desires, those prayers, like, I just want that. I just want that next thing. And this is the portal where this is what I want. I want this to be that vortex point, that line in the sand. You're like, I went to this free event. I had no idea. And it changed my life, and I shifted, and I went here, and everything got clear and certain and confident, and here I am. And that's what I would love for this to be for you. And so this is what you have the opportunity with your presence, with your honoring the pull that drew you here, to really be present, to really walk with us, comment in the chat, play full out, and receive all that's here for you, because you're going to also want to watch replay, because there's a lot I'm sharing and it won't all go in. So watch live, and then in like 24, 48 hours, watch again in replay, and you'll hear things you did not hear, and you'll be like, wow, she was right. And so so sometimes when you're calling in your next step, your prayers, you're like, I'm not in this place I want to be. I want to go to that next step. Like you see it, you see the vision, and then you see the space, the gap in between. And that was me. I was 2018. I was about 4 years into my in-between years of walking away from my business. And I had time, I'd made new friends, I took a lot of classes, but I wasn't sharing my creative juices. I think of an idea like create a yoga wear line. Door would close the next day. I'll do that. Door would close. Like nothing was landing. And so I had a lot of free time, which I had built wealth so I could do that. But I also, I was missing. Have you ever felt that way? Like you're just missing, like sharing your gifts? Like if you've ever felt that way. Yeah, like raise your hand. Like, yeah, I know. So I was really feeling that. I wasn't in a business. I wasn't offering anything. And I was called to go to Bali. I wanted to check out Bali. I was kind of wandering. I was kind of going here. I was led to go places and grid. I was already gridding a little bit, but I hadn't really received any jobs from Source. I didn't even know that was a thing. I really was just taking classes, opening my body. I was working with Mary Magdalene. My last name was Magdalene at the time, and because I really worked deeply with her. And I went to Bali, and I wanted to check it out because everyone seemed to go to Bali, and it felt like a beautiful place. I'd been there as a tourist in 2009, so I went back, and I knew I'd go back. And I had gone to a sister's retreat for 3 days in Bali. We went to a very beautiful waterfall at the north of Bali, and it was really a powerful 3 days. And she gave like private ceremony VIP days for personal ceremony, and I thought, oh, I'd love that. So I hired her for the day, and we went on our scooters, because in Bali you drive scooters. So I met her at her house, and we went on the scooters, and she took on this really convoluted back roads, potholes. And so we went on this tour up to this water temple in north of Ubud, where I was living in Ubud, Bali. And she took me, and we went, and we got to the temple, and we got off her scooter. It was a long ride. And she said, we're going to walk down about 50 or 60 stairs, and every stair is your sacred intention as you're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper into this water temple. And as I walked to the gates of this water temple, it was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. There was cascading pools going to the next pool, like gray lava stone with beautiful, gigantic koi fish, and temples on the higher levels where the Balinese would do their prayers and hold ceremony. And then there was the water element, and there was the gigantic pools cascading, and it was the most beautiful scene I'd ever witnessed. And as I walked down the stairs and we went to one of the temples and we sat, and we did private ceremony. And then afterwards, she said, go down in the pool and you purify. And she was showing me the way you do ceremony in Bali. And so we walked down, I walked down the stairs and I was in my sarong. You go in your clothes. Sarong is the sacred wear as a woman that you wear. And so you wear your sarong into the water. And at this point, I wasn't receiving any guidance. I was just I was trying to find a place I wanted to live, and I love the ocean, I love the water. And so I went into the water temple, and there's the fountain. So each spigot of every fountain you'll go to in Bali has a different frequency. Some is abundance, some is healing, some is next life, some is removing energies. And so like energies that don't serve you. And so I went under the water, and then as I was in the crystalline water, you're about up to here, you can walk in it. I heard this voice, and it was, go deeper, dunk yourself, like go deeper into the crystalline, because water is liquid crystalline codes. The water is the cold, sacred code holder. And so I dunked down a little more and stay down. And I started to get a vision of a mapping for my next steps of where to go and what to do. And something came through. It was like, hallelujah, I got some message. And I started to get a next step. I hadn't had any next steps, and I was guided to go to Northern California, and that is where I received my first job from Source, which was to sit at the Russian Gulch Waterfall in Mendocino, California, which is the ley line between Mount Shasta and Kauai. And Kauai was going through a lot. I didn't know it at the time, but their portals of Kauai were getting attacked and interfered with. And so actually the portals have now moved to Big Island, where it's safer with Pele and Paliahu and the Kamehamehas. But they were trying to bring the Shasta energy across and buoy up the ley line at the Russian Gulch Waterfall, which was a Shakti portal. And I was told to go every other day for 30 days. And I sat on the waterfall and I did my job. And some days I didn't want to go, but I went anyway. And what I've learned is light code gridding is 99% is showing up. When you receive something or you get that impulse or you hear something or you journal something, you don't poo-poo it like, oh, I can do that another time. Oh, who has time? I'm busy. Oh, I made that priority. And so I did it. And at the end, I saw a rectangle standing in front of me, which for me, that's Ascended Master, because I channel, I see just partials and clips. I don't see the whole being. And then I felt this like knighting or blessing me on each shoulder. And he said, I don't know you. You came on high referral. And I was sharing today, I hear this a lot. I don't know you, but you came on high referral. Like I don't work with Saint Germain in my personal life. And he said, but you did your job and now you get your blessing. And he gave me like a knighting on one of each of my shoulders and then dissolved. And from there, I started to get passed over the Rainbow Bridge, and other indigenous cultures and beings that needed help started coming in. And I started to just get known that I was someone that could help them. I showed up, and it grew from there to traveling for 9 years and gridding across the planet. And how many of you have felt a call or felt something opening within you? Because sometimes it's shown to us and it surprises us. How many of you have felt this? A call or an inkling or a wisdom in your heart? And how many of you said yes? And how many of you said, oh, later, maybe another time? Or you pushed it down and ignored it? Yeah, because sometimes we do that. I've done that too. Because light codes is a gift that you have within you, and everybody has it. And it's if you want to use it or not, and share it and open your gifts to receive. Not only do you grid, you also receive every time you share your light codes. And I want to begin today I want to give a little context of where we're at on the planet right now. How many of you are feeling all the shifts and changes right now on the planet? Like, yeah, like it's like rapid acceleration. It's no joke. And it is calling in new frequencies, new energies that are here on the planet. And right now we are at a sacred turning point and acceleration of Mother Gaia in 2025. 2025 is a corridor to move us into 2026 where much more is going to open. But this is more of the shedding, the changing, and it's a sacred window of activation where Gaia is passing through a multidimensional corridor of cosmic awakening. And not only she is going through it, we are also going through it. And it isn't just a spiritual awakening, it's an evolutionary one. And we're here and there are some major accelerators happening this year, 2025, that are opening this window for me, for you, for us, and for the next quantum leap for you. Or not. It's all on your choices. This is the big thing about the new golden age and the Aquarian age and this golden world we're opening. It's all choice points. It's all your free will. And so I invite you to just open that intention that I asked you at the very beginning. Like, what is your intention? What is that what you're calling in, or what you're calling and wanting to open, or that desire is it's you'll get opportunities for that. It's like sometimes we'll turn it down. We'll say, oh, go here. Oh no, that's a little too hard. Okay, so then that doesn't open. So many of us will receive the symbols and the guidance, and it's like, yes, and then, oh, I'm not so sure. And then it just takes more time. We all do that. So the first accelerator is Pluto going into Aquarius, and it's in Aquarius for 20 years. And it started in 2024 and goes into 2044. Pluto blows things up. Like, there is just no way to sugarcoat it. So Pluto was in Capricorn. My second house is in Capricorn, which is business and money. And guess what? I literally walked away, kind of blew up my entire 15 years of running a clothing business, creating 7 figures, and actually walking away from it, which makes no literal sense. That is Pluto. Pluto is just going to take the mask off. It's going to shed. It's going to blow up. It's going to explode. It's going to crack open. It will not. It leaves no one untouched. Like Pluto, the outer planets, don't mess around with the outer planets. They create havoc and change, but it's needed. And so we're in a 20-year transit, and this is signaling the breakdown of all the systems you're seeing on the news and all the chaos. Please don't get caught up in all of it. It's just showing you, it's the old dying off. And yeah, the old is kind of clinging to the side of the cliff, aren't they? So it's just that resistance. When you're in resistance, it looks pretty gnarly. And so I just invite you to just not get too sucked up in that, because it's not real as well. It's also been, is a little manipulated. That's just my 2 cents, but that's a whole nother conversation. But so what's happening now is the new ways of being are rising, and this direct source and quantum field, the collective and the community and community-led innovation and change, and the new feminine frequency is the leading system and the frequency for the new golden age for the next 2,000 years. And think of old paradigm pushing, exhaustion, burnout, top down corporate structure, like I told you so energy. That's the old paradigm. The new paradigm is divine feminine, nervous system resonance. We do practices in my community of bringing in the nervous system resonance. This is called angel wings, where to build your capacity where you are now and where you want to go. The way you get there is you build your capacity, and that is your nervous system. It is the bridge, electrical bridge for carrying your new codes in your body. And so I just invite you, you can just practice with me. And as you exhale, you go down to your elbows. And you inhale, you go up to your shoulders. And when you cross your arms and you hold yourself like this, you immediately open your autonomic nervous system, and it shows you you're safe. So you can relax and you can open. So today, to receive more and be relaxed and open, you're able to receive more, and you're able to activate what you receive when you're relaxed, open, and in that rejuvenation. And so that energy is not old paradigm. It was like, push, come on, just keep pushing yourself. Break through it, break through your edges. And and then you're just like sabotage because you broke through too much and you didn't hold yourself, and your nervous system and your subconscious mind is like, no, we need safety, sabotage, or overcompensate. And then you leave yourself unbalanced. And so this new energy is horizontal leadership, not top down. It's inclusion, it's transparency, it's heart-led. And so we're opening these new frequencies, and that creates new energies. And the new frequencies are coming in through the solar flares the solar light. The solar rays are the delivery system of the new light codes. And then we have the earth is accelerating, the Schumann resonance, the earth's blueprint, the earth's heartbeat. Everything is accelerating and the new solar codes are landing, opening up you, opening up the planet, opening up humanity to a way of being that we've never been before. And so these are these accelerators that are all opening really intensely last year and this year to then next year is the year where we really ground it in and we actually embody it in a deeper way. It's starting this year, and it's these solar flares are opening us to these and creating quantum leaps in our field. How many have been feeling like, oh, like the headache, or you just need to sleep for a day with the solar the solar magnetic, or how many of us knew, like, what are you talking about? Solar flares? I just know there's a sun in the sky. Like, well, then this is just open, relax and open, and just hear it for the first time. Because it's really exciting when you get new information, right? I'm curious. I'm Sag rising, so I like new information. I just love it, love it, love it. How many of you love new information? Yeah, like, okay, so we're in the right place. Okay, good. Cecile, or Cecily, let me know how to pronounce your name so I'm not like doing it wrong. Feel super energetic from it, but felt a lot of anxiety when I was in Bali. Celia is better. Oh, Celia, okay. Yeah, I know. Sometimes a new location can bring up, we're going to talk about that, a soul lineage that you might have walked on a sacred place when you like, oh, you go in. Like I heard this when people went to on the west coast of Africa when they did blessings and clearings on the buildings that held the transfers of the slaves in the slave trade, which I know is really horrible to even contemplate, but they did clearings and they could feel it when they walked in. And so the energy's still there. And so sometimes when you go somewhere, a building, or you've been in a home where you don't like it, or you meet someone and you're like, ooh, not so sure, you've known that person before or been in that energy before. And your body, it's all stored in the body. And so just honor that and like go deeper. Okay, I feel anxiety. I feel it's just, your body is telling you. And that's what's so beautiful about the body is it doesn't mess around. It doesn't like try to make it nice for you. It just does what it does. It feels. And so also galactic gateways and blueprints are opening again. Lemurian, Sirius, Venusian. And so these are all opening up, and then it's allowing us to remember our divine origin of a golden planet anchoring the new earth light. And so the feminine frequency is not only rising, she's activating. And this is the prevailing energy now for the next 2,000 years of the Aquarian age. She isn't rising alone. She's in union with the masculine. So it's a new sacred union that is coming in. So she's rising to meet the masculine. And then the masculine is also rising the feminine within him as they meet and they create that sacred union. And we do it in ourselves, in our own inner sacred union of your left side is your feminine, your right is your masculine. And opening this. And this is not about healing and activating alone. It's about community. It's about connecting. We're soul tribe here in Light Priestess Temple. We're a global community of light leaders, creators, and wayshowers of the new golden age. And by you being called here, you hold those codes too. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. And so you're a master, you're a creator, you're a leader of this new golden age. Whether you're offering, you're sharing, it's your energy. And it's who you came to this planet to be, whether you're actively offering or not. You hold those codes. If you're here, you hold those codes. And it's about now restoring and gridding the golden codes for the new earth. How many are feeling that? How many are really feeling that it's time now to really maybe step into who you truly are in a deeper way? If you're already offering, maybe to go into a global stage, or if you're not, to start offering your sacred gifts. How many are like ready to kind of take that next step in your path? Yeah, okay. So that is so like it's bravery. You know, bravery is when you are walking with fear. You don't get controlled by it. So it's brave, it's courageous. And that is what the leaders are for the new golden age. And the divine origin is returning, and the golden earth light codes are activating again. You can feel it in our new frequencies, the new energies. We can't do things the same anymore. And there was a time when the priestesses of light held the golden code, sang their song to the stars and the divine royal waters of the galactic oceans of time. Just feel into that. Feel into, in our group, when we're in a group, we're activating the power of the law of the mastermind. When two or more are gathered, is the 10th power. So just tune into, in this frequency, in this activated high container of light, feel into a time when you held those energies, you walked in those temples, you sang your song to the stars in the oceans of time. Just feel that. And then we lost it when consciousness fell. And now it's asking us to remember again, to feel the call and to restore the golden codes of the new golden earth, to rise again, the new Eden. These are the light codes ready to awaken again within you, within us, and within Gaia. Just feel into that. And some of you might be asking, what are light codes? And I want to share this because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I just want to share what I believe to be true. And if it doesn't resonate for you, just let it just roll off your back. And light codes are infinitesimal nanoparticles of source light held within the spaces of the cosmos, all matter, and within you and within me. And everything in the galaxy is 99% space. And inside of that space, like the space between me and you, is liquid light, liquid plasma, invisible to the eye, your desk, your table, all 99% space. And within that space is held the light codes of these source particles. And they're not held in your DNA. DNA was created, and you only can get so far with DNA. We're going to be moving into pillars of light as humanity. Some babies are actually being already born with it, which is a new encodement, which goes right to source. It does not have the in-between middleman of DNA. And within these spaces, within your cells, is this particles, these source light particles of the divine, and that aligns you with the universe, with God, as the universe, as a facet of the whole. And so just feel into this within you, that this light codes, everyone holds light codes. Some are dormant. Everyone holds dormant light codes that are your next level, about to awaken. And you activate them in high activated containers of light, like this circle here today, like our ceremonies, like when you go to a sacred site, in a ritual, in a consecrated, powerful event in sacred circle. And in those high activated containers of light, the frequency is higher, and the particles of light that hold all of your wisdoms, all of your knowledge across all of your lives, your millions of lives, are held in those particles of source. And as you activate and go higher, they turn on and activate. Why all of a sudden you start singing? Why you start, does anyone have just information just drop in, or a knowing, and all of a sudden you know it and you're like, okay, wow, where did that come from? That's your light codes turning on. That's your quantum leap from inside of you, opening and activating. And by us coming together, we normalize it. Quantum leaps are like just every day now. Like quantum leaps are happening, if not weekly, if not monthly, daily, in this new accelerated energy that we're in. And that opens effortlessly when you honor it, when you don't resist it, and when you surrender, and also by going to sacred sites. Light code gridding with Gaia, and by you walking onto a sacred site, a sacred temple, a sacred pyramid, a sacred vortex. It's a transformation, and you experience deepened clarity, sacred connection. You become magnetic. Synchronicities start accelerating. You start to see things like, after today, I want you to watching symbols, billboards you see when you're driving your car. A song comes on. A friend out of nowhere calls you. Something shows up on your Instagram feed that you've never seen before. And just start watching these synchronicities, because this is what happens when you start opening up your next level, your next code, your next quantum leap. And you feel more rooted when you step onto these sites and you go into these sacred places, and safe to be seen when you know who you truly are and your soul lineage. Because how can you move into your future, like me traveling around trying to find myself in those in-between years, when I didn't know my soul lineage, when I didn't know where I had come from, when I didn't know what I held? How could I create impact? When you step onto these sacred sites and you open your light codes and you grid and you open who you truly are, you create an impact for your life and for humanity when you know who you are and you know your truth. And this is why light codes are the fastest, most accelerated, permanent way to activate and transform in this future. And the more effortless way to activate is to step onto sacred sites. Because if you are called to a sacred site, and we're going to be practicing that today, you have left codes for yourself. And you've left codes for yourself. And when you step onto that sacred site, you effortlessly, they're just activated within you. And it doesn't take a workshop or a like journaling for 3 years or like asking questions. You effortlessly, it opens and activates within you. And that's the beauty of light codes. It's permanent. It's who you truly are. And it's within you. How many have any questions? I've been kind of sharing a lot. We're kind of going to be in our bodies and our minds a little, and then we're going to move into an experience. How many have any questions you want to post in the chat? How many are like feeling this? Post a yes or raise your hands. Like, yeah, how many are like excited to open some light codes today? How many are feeling that? Yeah, let me just check the gallery. How many are feeling? Raise your hands. How many are feeling that? Right. Christina, Ellen, Monica, welcome. Some sisters have joined. Theresa, Robin have been joining since we've started. So I want to share also about the role of the divine feminine in earth gridding and light code gridding. So women are not just healing themselves anymore. They're activating planetary ley lines. And through their ritual, your presence, your community. Women are 16 times more intuitive than men. And you have an ability to tap into this, whether you're like how many have work your clairvoyance or your intuitive channel or ask for guidance? And how many of you like, no, not so much? Like, oh, not sure, or you want to, just being curious that's all you need. And so you have a natural ability to be these gifts. That's why the women and the priestesses were always in the past incarnations, like the Gemini age was matrilineal, and the women are the Crete Minoan society. They were the highest voice in the land because women have that connection. We have that power. And then the masculine got afraid of that and went to squash it for 4,000 years, and here we are. So in every sacred site on earth, Avalon, Egypt, Tulum, Uluru, how many of you have been to sacred sites? How many of you traveled and gone to a sacred site? Yeah, so in these sacred sites, an ancient energetic point in Gaia's crystalline nervous system, and they are connecting the ley lines, which are ley lines, energetic lines that wrap the earth. And if you go to any cathedral, any government building too, they're on a ley line always. And like in Western England, you have Glastonbury that goes up through London, through, St. Paul's Cathedral, and then it will, like, one of the ley lines goes all the way up to Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, which is the Magdalen Rose line. And so you have these ley lines, and then if you go south, it's going to connect somewhere down into, the Middle East or Africa. Or I think the Azores, I know it goes through, or maybe it goes to Brazil. That one goes down into Brazil. And so Selena, I've been to France, lived near Holy Island in Egypt. Oh, amazing. And so in these sacred sites, they are connecting, they are like acupressure points, and they are powerful grids of energy and vortexes. And when we gather on those lands, we reactivate the codes that have been dormant since Atlantis, Lemuria, and the Rose Line. But you do not need to be to travel to them. You can travel to them, and it's very potent. And you can also activate these codes begin gridding your home and your body and your community, because you are the priestess and you are the point of light. Whether you call yourself a priestess or think of that, I feel every woman is a priestess. If you're sitting in an office and you're great at customer service, or you're great at teaching in front of a class, you are a priestess of those codes. You hold codes, and it's time to honor that, reverence to that, and then you grid that love into the planet when you go to these sacred sites. And the feminine grids through connection and through circle. And through weaving, when women come together to activate their land, we become the portals of the new earth. So just feel into that. We become portals of the new earth when we grid that. And so have any been to Paris, France? Anyone traveled to Paris, France? So Paris means par Isis. It's for Isis. So Paris we have a couple sisters joining. So par Isis is Paris. And so the Notre Dame was a temple of Isis. And every mosque or famous church or cathedral was a goddess temple if you go back. So even the Hagia Sophia, when I stood in the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, which is a mosque now, was a Catholic church during Constantine, and then was a Water Priestess temple. It's on the Bosphorus. And I saw, when I stood there, I saw the really shallow bowls of their ceremony where all the water would trail into each of the bowls. And I saw this. It was a Water Priestess temple, of course, on the Bosphorus, that important gateway. And so as we go to these temples, they start to open to you and share with you. And the priestesses was the conduit of the codes of the water and holder of the codes and the memories. And to just feel that into you, and these ancient civilizations and these ancient codes are opening within you, so you can then know where you're going, who you are, and what you're to offer, and your mission and your purpose when you know where you've been and the lineage that you carry. So how many have any questions? Yeah, Selena, does the ocean hold codes? Yes, the ocean, all water holds codes. Water is the memory keeper of all time and space, and the whales and the dolphins, they hold the memories with their song. They grid the planet with their sacred music and their frequency. So we're going to do a practice. So I invite you to, and you might want to get your journal out, because I'm going to give you some steps to activating your land and your home. And if you want to just grab some water. And so this is a practice for activating your land and home. And first you start with sacred awareness. Before anything you're going to activate, you come into reverence for where you're at. And then I invite you, for your home you're at or where you're living, is to look up the original indigenous stewards and name them out loud, like the indigenous tribes or the creator of your home or your building or your town that you lived in. And then out loud, call them out in your prayers. These are the ancestors of the land. And offer your love and wisdom and light and gratitude to the spirit of these sacred places, the trees, the flowers, the soil, the rivers, the oceans, and the sky above. It's coming into a next level awareness and honoring of just like, oh yeah, we're renting that house over there. Yeah, it's great. And then then we rent the next house. And there's no honoring, there's no gritting. There's no reverence to who came there before you, who built that. What indigenous tribe in California, it's all Native American, were here before. And so learning how they picked the berries and how they would go to the ocean. And I learned things about the natives here that I just learned in the last couple of years that I didn't know about, and I didn't have the consciousness to look for when I was younger. And how deep it goes here in this part of the world. And ask, when you're on your lands, why have I been called to live here and be here now? Because you are gridding your light where you are. Like I asked Spirit, I wanted to live in Encinitas, which is near SRF. I go to Yogananda's self-realization temple, which I really love. And it's about a half-hour drive. And I'm in Pacific Beach right now, which is on Mission Bay, which I love. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to go to Encinitas. And I would check in with Spirit. They're like, no, we have enough beloveds in Encinitas. We need you in Pacific Beach. And I was like, okay, so I'll stay here. So it's like, I'm gridding my light here because I'm needed. And then no homes opened up for me in Encinitas, of course. But one magically opened up here. And there was no other. I'm renting right now, and there were no other applications, which is very rare for this very popular area. And I was like, I'm like, what's wrong with that house? Nobody is wanting to rent it. No, because Spirit had it for me and made it very clear. So why am I living here? And listen to your heart. You can ask, why have I been called to live here now? And just get quiet. Listen to your heart. Light codes has a lot to do, and channeling and moving into your oracular intuition has a lot to do with getting still and listening across all lineages. That's the number one step. This is your call, gridding your light codes at this specific point and location on Mama Gaia to play your role in the next level ascension journey. Just feel into this and post in the chat if you're feeling something with where you're living right now. And I always anchor the four corners. So I go and I anchor each corner of my land or my home. If you're in an apartment, you just anchor your four corners of your apartment. And you can bring sage or Palo Santo, and you just give love and blessings and harmony to those corners as you grid them, and you grid your frequency and your love into the land, into the space, into the air. And I have a lot of fun. Have fun anchoring the light codes and I invite you to create a gridding altar on a dedicated sacred space for your home or your land that becomes a central point, a central hub, a node, a vortex point on your land for connecting to all of the sacred sites and the ley lines of the planet. Because as you activate your home and your land, it then becomes aligned to then connect all the frequencies of all the sacred sites and the ley lines of the planet. And then you start to activate and connect to this sacred golden grid of our planet, of the Giza pyramids, of the Uluru, of sacred mountains, Mount Shasta, Bali, Lemuria, Egypt, Sumeria. As you connect to all of this by anchoring and gridding your sacred land. And on your sacred altar, you can bring in clear crystals, quartz, selenite. I'm really a big lover of shungite, which is healing and clearing the EMFs and the Wi-Fi. I have shungite under my computer here. I have it on the back of my phone there. I have shungite. That's shungite. It's black. And I have it gridded in every house. I travel with it. Shungite all day long. And so I put that clears. It's very important. I used to get really bad headaches right here. And I couldn't operate and they'd shut me down. And so now since shungite, it's really helped me. So if you have any issues with EMFs, as they go to 5G, then 6G, and they're talking about 7G, our fields as empaths cannot handle that. And so I invite you to grid yourself with shungite. And sacred objects that hold energy to put onto your altar, connecting with the ascended masters of your area, angels of light, connecting your home and temple to the sacred sites with something maybe from a sacred site to put onto your altar. And the 5 elements. I also invite you to grid with the 5 elements: water, air, spirit, earth, and fire. How many of you create an altar in your house? How many of this is like something new? Yeah. How many have a land altar or for your home? I have a personal altar, and I've started to pick some flowers and create an altar out in the yard of the place I'm living. And I have hummingbird feeders and no hummingbirds have come yet. So I think I'm gonna have to like make a new hummingbird feeder so they come and visit me. And so I learned about the 5 elements from a sister in Bali, because they offer 3 times a day. They do these beautiful offerings in palm baskets with flowers, water, and an incense, which incense is fire and spirit. So the 5 elements of water, air, spirit, earth, and fire, they offer every day in front of their home. So if you've been to Bali, they have in front of their home the old ones, the new ones, of their offerings on their front doorstep and at their temples. And they're always offering to the elements and to the goddesses and to the spirits and to who you want to connect with, and just honoring your land. And I learned about the importance of doing that from living in Bali. And it takes time to deepen into your sacred home, temple, and elements, and practicing in your home with the simple practices. You can really ground and grid, and it connects you to all the sacred sites on the planet. And I have a friend, and sometimes we don't want to make the time, or we don't have the time, or we get too busy. And I have a woman in our community that I'll put an offering out, and she'll text me and she'll like it, and she'll post all these great things like, "Oh, I see you, I'm going to be there. I love it. I feel so aligned. I'm going to join you." And then as it gets closer, I'm like, "Oh, hey," I reach out. "Hey, I haven't registered yet. Like, I haven't seen you that you're going to join us." "Oh yeah, I don't have time. I'm in a new healing course and it's taking all my time because I'm really focusing on myself and wanting to do this for me, and I just can't do it." And yeah. And then even a day later, "Oh, like posting on the site, oh, and then the post on the event. Oh, it's so great. I can't wait." And I'm like, And then the next event, and she does like the same thing. And I keep like getting so inspired by her excitement that and I'm like, she's never going to join. And I reach out to her and it's the same thing. "Oh, I'm in this new course now. Oh my gosh. It's so amazing. And I don't have time." And it's like time. How much of us we don't value. We don't put things where our values of our time. We never have time. Don't have time. But what are we valuing? When she's so excited and wants to join, and I really feel it's true, and it's really her authentic desire, and then, oh, no time, and how we're just tolerating creating a life where we don't create time for gridding our home, for creating an altar, for attending something that we're called to attend, and then we're like, "Oh no," talk ourselves out of it. How many of you guys have talked yourself out of something and you know you wanted to do it, and you like talked yourself out. I know I did it. I've done it too. I wanted to go to fashion school when I was in college. I wanted to go to Paris and go and study there, and I talked myself out of it. Oh, I don't know French. I don't know, what am I going to do? And I always look back as I could have just done that, and I just stayed in college in California and had that experience, but I never had that experience of going to college in Paris. And I didn't know how I would finance it anyway, but I talked myself out of it before I ever got to that. And I'll never have that chance again. And so, yeah, Cecilia, I heard that the ones that offer the ground outside their homes for the evil spirits, they stay out of their home, and the ones that own the altar for the benevolent ones. Yeah, I don't have, I just clear it all. So I don't have any of that because I don't believe in that. And I also am strong enough to have my field be the aligning field. If you're like letting that, of course it can happen, but I don't, that's not my frequency. And it's the other side is very, very strong right now. They are trying everything they can. So the stronger in your golden light in your field and your community and your radiance create such a field of light that they just rather go somewhere else. And because they can't meet that. They can't enter that. When you're up here and that energy is down here, it can't enter your field. That's why it's very important for protection if you're a channel or you're doing sacred work, is to grid your field, grid your home, grid your neighborhood, and grid that light every day. That's what I do. And so as we open into this, this is just opens me to sharing with you about how you can restore and grid the golden codes for New Earth as the priestesses of light in Lemuria, held within the temples. Any of you have connection to Lemuria or Mu? How many of you have connection to the dolphins, the mermaids, the water elements? Some of you, yeah. How many of you are like kind of feel it? Maybe it's not a live connection, but there's like some curiosity, some within you. Yeah, okay. Elka's raising her hand. Okay, great. Because that is the story of Lemuria is the beginning, the divine feminine, and then Atlantis was the divine masculine that came out of Lemuria to be that experiment of consciousness. And I was in Bali. I was now living in Bali. It's 2019. And I was in a hotel, and I had just arrived, and I heard I was about to go. I was asleep. I was in bed. It was probably 11:30 midnight. And there's a voice comes in, and they're like, "Get up, go outside and lay on the grass." I was like, "Everybody, have you had those voices?" And so I got up. I was like, well, first I was like, no, can we do this tomorrow? And like, no. The voice was like really adamant. I'm like, okay, I can't mess around with this voice. This is like really strong. Okay. And put your bathing suit on and go lay outside. In Bali, it always rains. So it was wet and the grass was wet. And they had lay pronate, which is where, whoa, almost knocked that over. You lay face down with your arms out. And all of a sudden, I see out of my pineal in the higher realms. And so I saw in my third eye, I saw these women come in, like boom, boom, black hair, black grass skirts coming in. If you've even seen like Maori dancers from New Zealand, it was kind of what it was like. And they were gnarly, and they came in, and you did not miss them. And they came in and they're like, we're the medicine women of Mu. We're the guardians of the New Earth Codex. And we have heard about, I keep hearing this, we heard about you, but we don't know you. And so you're going to have a 1-year initiation with us, and we're going to watch you. And we're going to see if you can rise to the challenge. I was like, it wasn't like the most happy, we love you, and we just think you're the greatest. It was like, we're going to watch you because what we guard is so crucial. And I was like, okay. And so the medicine women of Mu entered my life on that night. And for the next year, I was put through, I had to do ceremonies and rituals and hold space for sisters and call in sisters. And then I was guided to go to the Komodo Islands, where I had to go actually on a treasure hunt for shapes that I would put into like an actual driftwood that looked like a lingam. I kid you not. It was like a lingam, phallus, and a scrotum. And I had to laugh. Like, I took pictures of it. And it was literally the key that went to the back of a waterfall on the island of Flores so I could open up the New Earth codes. And we activated the New Earth codes because Bali is the mountaintops of Lemuria. And above Bali held the golden codes of how to build a golden universe. How are we going to build a golden age on the planet? There is a framework and a template and a structure for that. And that is held above Bali in the higher realms. And it is in 2 billion bits of crystalline plates, where every plate has like one sentence. So it's all separated. And so no one can have it because Atlantis had one too, but they blew theirs up. And that was what the last war was about, to get the template that Lemuria had, and they failed. So Lemuria is the only holder of the codex to how to build a new golden earth. And that is what's opening now. So we activated that on 11, 11, and 20. We activated the New Earth codes. We had 100 people. We were online and in person in Bali on a beautiful yogashala cantilevered over the mermaid rainbow throne beach. It was just so beautiful. And we activated it. And then 5 years later, 2025, this year, we're being called to grid these codes now into Mama Bali, into the water temples, into the waters, into the mountaintops of Lemuria, to now grid these codes. It took 5 years for us to raise into this frequency. And sometimes when these things come in, it's like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is crazy. What will other people say? I need to have people to do this with. What is opening now? Like, I can't do that. I had some fear coming in of like, how can we grid this? I activated it. I had a huge community in Bali. And now it's like, how are we going to do this? And they're like, make the call, put the call out for the priestesses and the water priestesses and the code holders and the wayshowers of earth who can do this with me. And so before we grid your sacred site and that special meaning to you, I want to share with you about this incredible offering that I'm so excited about. Some of you or sisters are here that are walking with us, and I want to share with you about the 9-9 portal. New Eden is rising. And so that is the question. Do you feel that path of light is a path opening for you? And I want to share with you about what is opening for us. Get this right, desktop. Okay. And let me just move. And I want to share with you. Can everyone see my screen before we, can you see, do you see the 9-9 portal? A blue image. Someone just want to unmute just so we know we're all on the same page.
Yes, fine.
Wonderful. So, beloveds, this is the 999 portal. It's the 999 portal. It's September 9th. We are in a 9-year, and this is the portal of the Stargate frequencies, where the highest frequencies will be activating. And this is the new Eden rising, the Priestess Pilgrimage Retreat. What I'm so excited about, the call that will be in Bali. And this is September 4th through 10th. And this is your call, this is your invitation to grid your codes and to be initiated into the priestess temples of Lemuria, the royal golden water codes of New Earth, priestess initiation and activation in Bali. And I invite you to join us on the magical sacred island of Mama Bali, immersed in the new frequency of the new golden age on the 9-9 portal of 2025, the 9 numerology year, the eternal divine symbol of completion and new beginnings. On the luminous Stargate Portal, the priestesses and code keepers are called to activate the New Earth planetary golden template codes within Gaia. And you'll be immersing in royal ceremony, be initiated into the flowing priestess temples of Lemuria, the temples of this Mu, the temples that hold these codes and embody the new golden earth water codes and grid the new golden ley lines within the goddesses of Lemuria, and immerse in the devotion of love for the golden earth, the new temple rises. And we have, if you want to go to my YouTube channel, we have a beautiful Pisces new moon that we did, talking all about it. And you get to meet Janar, who's going to be assisting us in Bali. And this is about sisters stepping into the temple of the new golden earth codes And this, the ancient prophecy says that is activating, says when the priestesses return to the sacred waters of Lemuria, the new golden age on earth will begin. And I shared about the 1111 ceremony that we activated the codes. And now 5 years later, we're gridding the codes. And the water priestesses, wayshowers, and creatrixes of the new golden age on earth are being called to activate the original Eden source light codes and grid the original new earth frequencies and wisdoms only held within the royal blue Stargate temple of Gaia and of Mu for the new golden earth. Birthing the new, not as the past ages, but completely new. And sister, I invite you to feel the call. If this is landing, if this is feeling a resonance, for you to walk with us. And the new Eden on earth frequency is birthing and it's resurrecting. And this is the new Eden rising. It's not Lemuria. It's not Atlantis. This is the new frequency of the new Eden that we are birthing together. And feel, sister, the crystalline blue waters flowing through you, activating your original light codes of creation, and bathe in the new unifying vibration of freedom, love, connection, divine light, rebirthing within you as holder of one flame, one river, one ocean, one creation, rising again. And the new light template of New Earth for the next 2,000 years will be activating on the 999 portal in Bali. And this is something you'll be receiving as you transform from a devoted seeker showing up on the shores of Bali into a activated Lemurian priestess, holder of the codes, healing that any sisterhood wounds, healing any lack of confidence or not stepping into your freedom, opening that and be initiated into the highest codes held in the original Lemurian Temple of Mu as the holder of the newer source codex. Mu came before Lemuria. Mu is the original. Be of service to humanity. And the divine feminine frequency, planetary consciousness, and encodements join the Lemurian priestesses, goddesses, and highest councils of light and the Royal Blue Stargate family who are calling for us. The Royal Blue Stargate family are not known. You don't see them in oracle decks. They are unknown, and they are holders of, they're another gatekeeper for the codex to be gridded. And so these are the beautiful beloveds that are calling us, calling you to grid the original source earth codes, the golden codes within the sacred waterfalls, water temples, and mermaid ocean thrones of Bali. Mama Bali is the mountaintops of Lemuria and holder of the sacred memory of humanity. Allow her to nourish you, lovingly hold you, and share with you her illuminated wisdoms from the beginning of time. And this is a water temple where I shared about how the fountains come out and you go under the fountains and they all have a different frequency, different energy. And this is actually the temple, Pura Menganing, that was the one the sister took me to that became my favorite temple that I went to for all of my personal activations. And I will be taking the sisters to immerse and flow and be initiated in the original Lemurian water codes. And we'll be going to 9 water sources on Mama Bali to be in that 9 frequency of codes of creation and be nourished by the sacred land of Bali and the deep sense of belonging with sacred sisterhood and your star family. And we have Madalena here today. There's Madalena. This is from our Hawaii 777 portal pilgrimage. Those photos, and Kai and Victoria, and journey to sacred sites, secret waterfalls, and sacred water temples on Bali, gridding the new golden 90 light codes of the new golden Gaia. This is a waterfall in Bali that we went to, and we gridded the new sacred union codes, and we stood at an edge. We had a beautiful plateau, so we could get really close to the waterfall. And these are all places that I go to on my own that aren't on a tourist guide map. I'll take you kind of into the more secret places. And your soul has called you here across the ages and oceans. I just invite you, sister, to imagine yourself waking up each morning to the sensual sounds of the sacred heron birds, views of lush green rice fields, and the sensual fragrance of frangipani flower essence. Spending your day gridding the new earth light codes at sacred sites and waterfalls, being held in deep sisterhood, sacred ceremony, and swimming with the rainbow mermaids. And on this sacred pilgrimage, you will experience and receive the 999 portal light codes activation ceremony on September 9th, channeled by me. And we'll be together in the temple. And the High Priestess of Bali, who is an incredible story. She is going to be blessing our opening ceremony on September 4th, and you'll be receiving a Melikat ceremony from her, which is a water blessing where when I have gone to her, I have activated and I have shifted and changed and transformed. She is magical, and she is very young, and she became high priestess at a very young age because she naturally channeled it all. And she's an incredible being who lives on Bali, and she'll be blessing you and blessing us on our opening ceremony. And that is worth all the price of everything, is being in her presence. And you'll be grading the new template of the original New Earth codes at 9 sacred sites, waterfalls, and temples in Bali, having so much fun doing it. We'll have so much fun together, activating and laughing and dancing, and the New Earth codes and grid with the goddesses, ascended masters, and the royal blue Stargate family on the sacred ley lines of Bali. And we'll also have a high priestess of Isis blue lotus tea ceremony. Blue lotus is grown throughout Ubud and Bali. So we'll be using fresh blue lotus grown from the land, not dry, not shipped to us, but actually all my lotus ceremonies in Bali are fresh blue lotus, and it is so powerful. And the New Earth Water Codes Lemurian Temple Priestesses Initiation, you'll be initiated into the Lemurian Temple and through our ceremonies, and Royal Rainbow Mermaids Ocean Throne Codes activation. We will be going to the ocean of the Royal Mermaid Thrones, and you will be experiencing that. And you'll swim with the Rainbow Mermaids and the crystalline dolphins at our sacred location. And embodied anointing practices, temple sisterhood, healing, sensual art. You'll be connecting with your sisterhood and sacred community. And this is on Bali when I gave my very first pilgrimage and priestess retreat. We all fell in love. Something happened when we went to a sacred waterfall that is where the priests go, and something shifted, and I've never seen it. I've never felt sisterhood like this before, and living in a temple together. It all came back, and I'm going to be taking you to that sacred waterfall that is where all the priests go, that is not on any tourist map. And you'll be going to the sacred sites, the secret sites. And you also go to the Lemurian Temple. You'll have to receive a Lemurian Temple crystalline sound bowl healing. And there's a Lemurian toning practice that was from Lemuria that you'll be receiving and experiencing and embodying. Morning meditation with Jainar, restorative yoga, divine light body breathwork activation. It's going to be so heavenly. Can't you just feel it? And it's all inclusive. Just get your flight. Come on over, and for 30 days, most countries, it's 30 days free to be on Bali for your visa, and we'll be at a 5-star villa accommodations with crystalline pool, daily vegan meals, and all your transportation included. This is one of the Balinese temples, the Gateway of Heaven. And you'll stay at the gorgeous 5-star villas in Ubud, Bali, which is the spiritual center of the Balinese. That's why I lived in Bali. There's a frequency you feel when you go to Ubud that is not the same as when you're down in the busier Denpasar and the busier areas. You'll enjoy crystalline pools, and we're on a heron sanctuary at our villa. Deep quiet time. Nourish your soul with the opulence. Schedule a massage, dip in the pool, enjoy the sacred beauty of our villa accommodations. And you can choose from a private queen bed villa or a twin bed. And this is our villa. We're going to have 3 villas, actually. They're all next to each other, owned by the same family. This is the villa that we're going to be having our ceremony at. And our villa, and these are the left is the queen bedroom, and the right is the twin bedroom for you staying. And you'll feel the deep nourishment. And this is the heron sanctuary of the villa. This is your view for the rice fields, and they're like emerald green velvet carpets. And we began, like I shared, our ceremony with the High Priestess of Bali, and she'll be creating a Melikat ceremony that you'll experience, which is incredibly powerful and life-changing. And you'll walk with the Lemurian temple keepers who whispered to the sacred royal waters and sang to the stars. You swim in the opalescent luminous waves of the mermaids and dolphins as we come together and awaken as one. And I want to share with you about a few sisters that many testimonials, but I want to share, I have activated and held pilgrimages and retreats all over the world and activated over 20, 30 sites. And I want you to meet Erica, who joined us on the 777 Portal pilgrimage in Hawaii, where we activated the Temple of Light on the Waipio Valley of the Sacred Valley of Big Island, Hawaii. That is the frequency and the golden energy for the future of our planet. and we activated the new Priestesses of New Earth. And what she says is, I got to participate and be of service at one of the most beautiful retreats I've ever attended with 20 women. We came from across the country and a few abroad, holding sacred space for women who are so committed to their healing and transformation is one of my greatest passions and the most important work I've had the privilege of doing. I felt so much joy, elation, freedom, belonging, and gratitude for the healing of the sisterhood wound within me. I felt seen and celebrated by my sisters, a gold star event I'll remember forever. And that's Erica, who lives on Maui. And then I want to share with you about Shirley, who joined us on our Egyptian pilgrimage, our 1111 Stargate pilgrimage in Egypt, where we opened the Golden Universe Stargate. So all the 7 main temples, Isis, Horus, Dendera, and the Pyramid of Giza that we actually had private ceremony at on 11/11 at 8 p.m. We opened the Universal Golden Stargate, so all those temples could then be connected. They were actually blocked for good reason, and now they were opened. And we did that very sacred work, and that was a pretty grueling pilgrimage, I have to say. There was a lot of resistance in the planet for us not to do that, the other side, if you know what I mean. So this is a sister, Shirley. I want to tell you her story because she is such a powerhouse and completely transformed in this pilgrimage. Shirley shares, I felt a strong call to join Jennifer on the Egyptian pilgrimage where she was activating the Golden Age Universal Stargate. This was a powerful pilgrimage and portal. Jennifer has an incredible ability to receive higher light guidance and to bring it into the 3D with unwavering focus and love. I was shifted from being someone who supported others to build their soul business to someone on the path as a higher realm or new earth wayshower, activating my priestess self in an entirely new way. I will always be grateful to Jennifer for supporting me to open up this higher realm magic and calling and leading me through a powerful pilgrimage in Egypt, which radically changed the course of my life and enabled me to truly activate and unlock my New Earth mission. And Shirley, let me tell you, she changed and shifted, and she has a waiting list for her mentorship and she activates New Earth Wayshowers missions and purpose. And she changed before my eyes and activated. And because of connecting with her Egyptian lineage and Nefertari and her frequencies, she was able to share that with her offerings, her work, and it transformed her life. And I've never seen someone move so fast as she has. And it's just because of being on those sacred sites. She effortlessly activated her light codes and her soul mission. And that's what happens when you say yes and you make that commitment and that devotion to stand on sacred sites and to remember again. And then I want to share with you Andrea, who joined us in a 222 portal in Sedona, where we activated the sacred union of the planet in 2022 on the 222 of February, which was a very powerful and life-changing on many levels. And if you were with me, and you're probably chuckling because it had a lot going on in that Sedona retreat. And I had the privilege of attending Jennifer's Sedona retreat, which was a life-changing experience for me. The portal that was created there was like a volcanic eruption of shift for the entire group. What Jennifer created has helped me discover the keys to unlocking my unique blueprint and upgrading my capacities as a keeper of the New Earth frequencies. And that's Andrea. And she's done just great somatic work. And this is what happens when you step onto the sacred sites and you join us in our activated containers of light. Receive the Lemurian Temple Priestess initiation as holder of the New Earth codes when you join us on the 999 portal and activate the new Eden rising. Not only are you going to transform, shift, change, and heal what you need to heal, but you're also going to be doing your sacred work for the planet and gridding the codes for the new golden age. Come dance with us at the sacred sites of the Royal Rainbow, Mermaid's Ocean Throne, and grid the divine light codes for humanity. So just take that in. For some of you, it's like, yeah. Some of you, it's like, let me just take that in. Let me integrate a little bit. Joanne sharing the whale is one of my spirit animals and guides. That's Lemurian, that they hold the consciousness. Does anyone have any questions or anything you'd like to share? Because we're going to enter into, and then I'm going to share with you about what we have an early bird right now. I've just offered some 24-hour bonuses, and I'm going to share with that. But first, we're going to be activating our gridding our light codes. And so anyone have any questions, just pop in the chat. How are you feeling? Anyone need to take a break or take a sip of water? I do. I have grapes. I love grapes. I don't know if you're a grape person. I'm gonna have some grapes. And I invite you to get comfortable and kind of move. I want you to just move your shoulders. Shake it out. Amazing. And if you have any questions, please post in the chat. And we're going to have a chance to share after this, because after we do our gridding the light codes, I'm going to guide you through this. Then we're going to share, and we are going to I'm going to share with you how you can make that choice and make that big decision and walk with us in Bali. So we'll get some music. Just want very light music. So I invite you. How many of you would love to access your highest intuition, wisdom, codes, and soul lineage? How many of you raise your hands? How many are ready for that? All right. Okay. Well, then get ready, because this is gridding your light codes. You're going to be traveling to a sacred place, a sacred site on the planet just for your soul lineage. And you're going to be opening up your oracular intuition and your soul gifts. And so the light codes within you open your highest destiny and are the key to everything you want. And here's how to unlock your light codes. First, we're going to ground, put your feet on the floor, or if you're laying down, I invite you to be sitting just so you're a little more, and your spine is straight, but you can lay if you'd like to receive, just that your spine is straight. And send your grounding cord down into Mother Gaia to just ground again. And then inhaling up all her foundation, strength, and love into your body. And this is an embodied experience, tapping into your ability to grid light. So just invite you to take a breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Because we've been in our mind a lot today, learning about the light codes, learning about Bali, learning about the 999 portal. And now we're going to move into your body, into field, into stillness. And your ability to grid at light codes at sacred sites, it holds a special meaning just for you and your frequency and your path. To open your intuitive channel and oracular gifts of light code activation is number one, is to get still and just go within. So get very still and go within to deeply listen and strengthen this muscle within you. The oracles throughout time could sense and translate the divine through their senses, their cultivated sensitivity. I talked about the elements, the 5 senses of the earth, and then your 5 senses. The cultivated sensitivity is why people traveled across the deserts and oceans to the oracles of Delphi, Siwa, and Dodona, and their oracular priestesses. Priestesses that we're going to deepen now into the senses to open your channel for light code activation. This is one of the foundations I use and our community uses. So as we move into this practice, just getting calm and still, can't do this wrong, just enjoy, have fun. As we move through each sense, I invite you to let all the other senses drop away and only focus your awareness on this one sense. We're going to be deepening and strengthening and focusing on one sense, because the oracular priestess is the priestess that can work with her senses and has that deep sensitivity. You'll be stronger at one than the other, or two than others, and this is where you can really deepen into that and strengthen all of them if you'd like, and as a daily practice in your life. And so this is the way, as you step into your higher intuition, is you deepen into your senses. Take a breath to center and land. Inhale and exhale. As we move into our first sense of sight, you can use your inner sight or your outer sight. You can keep your eyes open or closed and tune into what you see. What's before you now? Are you seeing something in your temple space, how you've hung your pictures, a color, a tree outside your window? Or are you seeing something in your mind's eye if your eyes are closed in your inner sight? What are you seeing now as you let all your other senses drop away? Only focused on your sight as an oracular priestess, opening up your inner sight. You can even ask your higher self, yourself, your guides, your angels to show you something, bring in something. If you don't see and you don't have that gift, you can have that gift. You can have any kind of gift you ever would want. And so just play with it. If you don't see anything, just play with it. It's still happening. And you might see it later. You might receive it in your journaling, or while you're in the shower, or while you're on a run, it might drop in, or you might in dream time. And so just be with what it is right now. And now we're going to move to sound. So drop sight, just drop that away. Now we move into sound. And what are you hearing? Do you hear the buzz of your refrigerator? Do you hear birds singing outside? Do you hear the electrical pulse running through the wall, activating your quantum hearing? Do you hear something a mile away? Do you hear the gardener mowing the grass at the home next door? What are you hearing right now as you let everything else drop away and just gazing and focusing on your sound, on your hearing, your sacred sense of sound? And now let sound drop away and move into touch. You let everything dissolve, and now you're only focused on your touch. What are you sitting on? Do you feel your top against your blouse, against your skin? Do you feel the seat of the cushion underneath your butt? Do you feel your feet in your shoes? Do you feel the softness of the carpet as you deepen and you tune in to what you're touching? Do you feel your hand kind of sweating as it lays on your thigh? What are you touching? What is that sense showing you? Just play with this and have fun. And let that drop away as we move into the fourth sense, is taste. Let everything else dissolve and drop away as you focus on your mouth and the taste. Feeling your mouth. If there's a sourness, you just had some fruit and now you feel that sour taste, or you can imagine tasting a blueberry and biting down as it spurts and squirts out its juices in your mouth, or you're tasting your favorite cookies, or you're tasting the ocean as you swim and you get a mouthful of salt water and you're tasting the salty ocean. What are you tasting? It could be here in the present, it could be a vision, it could be a dream. What are you tasting in your mouth right now? What does it taste like? What does it remind you of when you taste it? And now smell. Dissolving all of the other senses to the fifth sense of smell. Aroma. What are you smelling right now? What is wafting through the air? Do you smell your essential oil on your skin? Do you smell the carpet? Do you smell the grass being cut outside? Do you smell the flowers blooming and their essence? What are you smelling right now? Dissolving all the other senses away as you just gaze and you illuminate your sense of smell. Opening this, activating this in a deeper way, in a sacred way. And now as you dissolve that, as you open your five senses, you actually unlock your sixth sense, your knowing. So as you've deepened into this space, tune into the sixth sense as all knowing. Feel this frequency opening within you. And now, beloveds, as we move into your body, I invite you now to tune into your higher chakras. I invite you to tune into your pineal, your third eye, your eye of Ra, right here on your center of your forehead, in the center of your brain. It's like right there, size of a walnut or an almond. And I invite you to go into your pineal and just ask it to open up to 90 to 100%. And just declaring that and just making that declaration and just ask it, opening this channel, this receiver of your incoming visions and guidance from Source, your highest self and your guides, protected, with asking Archangel Michael to bring in a protective blue light of protection around us, around you, and just call in this 90 to 100%, just opening up your pineal, decrusting it, pulling off any layers, anything that no longer serves you. And now move above to your crown chakra, the portal, the opening, that divine guidance enters into you, and open it up and ask it to open to 90, 100%. And just give the energy and command or guidance and let it be, and just trust. Even if you've never done this before, just have fun with it. Opening up, we just opened up your pineal, and then open up your crown chakra, which is right here on the top of your forehead. Just opening it up like a big portal, round portal, or a small portal, however you like to envision it. As these channels are more open, I invite you now to bring into your mind's eye your sound, your touch, whichever clairsentient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, whatever clair intuitive power you go to most. Do you see most? Do you hear? Do you sense? Are you musical? Which is that one that you focus, that you go to most? And focus on your gaze upon it and connect with it, your strongest of your clairs, and call it in. And now with this clair that you've called in, and your pineal and your crown are open, I invite you to call in a sacred site. Call in a sacred temple or sacred vortex on the planet that has a special meaning for you. Ask your guides and angels to bring in, and just go with whatever comes in first. Just trust. This is the magic of just trusting your intuitive channel, not controlling, not questioning, not doubting. You could see a flower, you could see a tree, you could sense something, hear something, sound. Just ask. And make a note what has shown up in a sound or a vision or a feeling or a frequency as you send this desire out. And just go with whatever comes in first, no editing. What's been shown to you? What's been, sound has come in, frequency, a knowing, a flavor, an aroma. And now if you see with your inner sight or your inner hearing or inner sense, ask to be shown where to go in this sacred site or location. And envision yourself standing, sitting, or swimming in this exact spot. So now be guided where to go and stand in this sacred site. Like maybe you're seeing a temple, maybe you're seeing a meadow, maybe you're feeling an old home you used to live in. Whatever came in, and just ask to be guided where to sit, stand, swim in that exact spot. See it, feel it, hear it. What do you see and what do you feel? Now bring in a sacred element to help you, or maybe it's your heart space or your pineal, to translate or connect with the codes meant for you in this sacred space, or the message that's coming that the sacred space has for you. And if you don't need a sacred object, then don't bring it in. But if you would like a sacred object, like a crystal or a memory or a photo or a sacred object or a statue, or a flower, or a lotus, just ask, has anything come in for you? And if you don't feel you need it, just connect with your heart, your pineal. Ask for a message of this sacred space. And connect with the code you left for yourself. Are you clearing energy so this site has a restored energetic frequency? Is it your body is the coded template and you are called to return here to encode the new frequency of light here and now for the sacred site to amplify it? What is the message of this why you were shown this sacred site or the sacred feeling or the sacred essence or knowing or sense. Now bow and thank this site, this location, this portal or temple, and return back to the room and to my voice. And when you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes with a soft, gentle gaze, connecting to your remembrance. And if Bali came in, connect to your remembrance of Bali in this high frequency to restore the new earth and the golden codes of new earth. What did you experience and what did you feel? Because you just activated light codes within you and within this site. And now, if you were at the site, this is done automatically. The moment your plane touches down on the runway or you park in the lot of the site, the sacred sites are the effortless amplification of your highest light codes, and your sacred work of gridding is in your body, is the crystalline golden field connected to the field in this portal. Just feel that. And I'd love for some shares of anything that came through. If you want to raise your hand, we'll have some quick shares. And anyone want to share in the chat of what came through from your journey into your sacred site that had a meaning for your path. Opening up your oracular gifts, if that was new for you, your senses. And then opening up your pineal and your crown chakra, and then connecting to the sacred site. Celia, for me, a waterfall in Hawaii, but never been there. So interesting. Okay, did you get the name and maybe the image? And then I would go on Google and search and see for that waterfall so that you can name it. And then I would invite you to add that to your list on your life to go visit it. There were a lot of big black rocks. Oh, well, that could be. That's pretty much lava. That's all of them. So you're right on. That's lava. And I could sit under the waterfall. Okay, well, you might have gone when you could. I know on Big Island, they didn't let you sit under a lot of them because some of them can be really powerful. But I would always find off the grid waterfalls where I could sit under them because I love doing that. Elka, oh, yay. So please post in the chat or raise your hand. Anyone want to share? And then you could... Beverly, the Temple of Edfu. Oh, yes. I love that. Horus. Madalena, for me again, Egypt and the pyramid. Oh, I love that. Elka, it was very interesting as there were two places coming up, Stonehenge, where I already have been, and Glastonbury Tor, where I haven't been in this life. Well, you, I would imagine, have deep roots in the Avalon tradition, sister. So how beautiful. Anyone else want to share? Anyone want to raise their hand? I'd love to hear from you. I used to grid with roses. When I would go to sacred sites, when I was just starting, I had to have my whole mandala. I had to have my roses and my crystals, and I had my backpack. And even when I went to Machu Picchu, and I would jump over the wall because I knew where the guards were and they couldn't see me. I'd jump over the wall and I would do my gridding on Machu Picchu in private, and they couldn't find me. And I'd have and I was like, so much effort, and I had to get my adrenaline down and get like, can they see me? Am I going to get in trouble? And I had my roses and I do my whole grid. I had to have a whole mandala. I had a whole thing going on before I could ever channel. And then the bus going up and the running and all the jumping over the wall. And then I would activate and then I would connect. Now I don't need any of that. I might bring a crystal. I might pluck a flower and place it down. It just comes right in. But when I started, I had to have my whole grid set up. So I've evolved and I've shifted. So Pippa, for me, Glastonbury Tor, I was taken to the apple orchard where there's a special tree, and I'll be back in Glastonbury next week. So it was that tree for so excited. Oh, how amazing. You live near your sacred site. So Selena also saw a white flower. Oh, amazing. Wow. Selena, I saw the church in France and then was led to a garden swing, and I was dressed in white and looked like a child on the swing in the garden. I would ask, and so when you open that oracular vision, you can ask more questions. Why was I on the swing? Was this a real life? Was I that girl? Was I da-da-da-da? And keep going till you get all the answers, and ask your highest knowing. It's gridded within your cells. It's all within you. Your higher self is you. It's all within you, and you're asking your higher self to get that answer. Selena is with a friend. Oh, amazing. So you've just gridded distance. You have just gritted codes. You've opened up a memory, a knowing within you, whether you're here live or in replay, without even being there. What if you were there and you stood on that waterfall? You stood in that sacred temple. You stood, and some of the sisters live near there. Do you want to collapse time and around this ascension path that you have and take years off of workshopping, courses, channeling, journaling to reach your next level? And this, what you just opened, to like how much more that's going to open? How many want to collapse time and just open and just get to all of it? That's what happens when you do sacred travel and sacred sites, when you step onto the land, when you step under that waterfall. I can't explain it, what happens. You actually turn on and you open these codes and you heal at the deepest level and you step into that next level. And this is what happens, has happened in my life, in my community, and the women that have walked with me on these sacred sites. You do not come back the same. You step from being a seeker on your path to then leaving an initiated, activated Lemurian priestess in this Bali frequency and a code holder of the New Earth Golden Codes. And that is the transformation that happens when we're going to go to Bali in the 999 portal. Jane went to a temple in Greece, to a pool deep inside and with a waterfall where I sat and placed flowers in the water, then asked for the energy to be cleared and filled with love, and then I felt the love. Oh, Selena, I've been seeing waterfalls for ages. That's how I started. I started gridding waterfalls. And so, I want to share with you how you can join us. And so we have an incredible bonuses for you to register and join us in Bali. And to not only dream it and envision it and have that practice and experience you just had, but to walk it and live it. And this is by joining us in Bali. This is the call, sister. When I got this vision and I'm like, but I can't do this myself, and I don't know, and how am I going to find people, and how am I going to find these Lemurian priestesses, these cold holders, because you are a facet to us completing this mission. And we cannot do it alone, and we're only 3/4 full right now. We have sisters that are still to find us and to find this and open the 9 crystalline water temples and waterfalls and sacred sites on the land of Bali, the mountaintops of Lemuria. And so just feel into your Lemurian lineage. And this is September 4th through 10th. September 9th is the 999 portal. And just imagine flowing in the crystalline waters is the memory of Bali and the guardian placeholder for all time that you are. And join us for the New Eden Rising. So we have a special activation and special early bird that ends tomorrow. So our early bird and our payment plan ends tomorrow. We've been promoting this year. And you also get 2 incredible bonuses, actually 3, when you sign up by July 2nd. We've added in a VIP experience with me, September 11th in Bali. The day after we end, you will have a VIP experience with me, and it will be midday. So if you needed to fly out that night, you could do that. And it will be a surprise and a secret, but you'll get special private time with me, and it will be deeply powerful, as we'll do a very special Bali experience for you. And also, you get 2 courses of your choice from our product suite by joining by tomorrow. And you'll choose between the High Priestess of the New Golden Age, which is an initiation activation course. It is our #1 most popular top seller. And that's $444 value if you bought it on your own. And you also, and why I've added these is so the VIP experience, you can deepen and get personal time with me, so you can deepen even more into your soul path, your soul mission, your soul guidance, and your soul purpose. After you've opened all of this, and we can come together and you get that private time. And then the courses are here for you to then prepare your field and your energy to walk with us in September. So you can start immersing with us in these evergreen and online activations and courses. So you also, in the courses, is Illumined Ones, which is so incredible, the Magdalene and Hathor immersion, where they became one and into the golden frequency and anchored in the golden temple on the island of Hawaii and in the Temple of Dendera. So this is the Magdalene Hathor immersion. That's worth $222 value if you bought on your own. Then we have the Codes of Ra Light Leader Business Course. How many of you own your own business? You're an entrepreneur, you're a spiritual way shower, you have sacred work. This is the Codes of Ra Light Leader Business Course. That is for the light leaders of the new golden age. And that was incredibly life-changing. This is getting your blueprint, your why, your next level messaging. And this is $497 value if you bought it. And you also get code activations from Ra and from the Royal Sun Tribe and the Egyptian lineage within that. Always like code activations in everything we do. And then Magical Money Goddess, New Earth Wealth Codes, which we just completed last month, which was next level, the New Earth Wealth Codes that came in. This is what Yeshua transferred to Mary Magdalene on his last night before he was taken by the guards at the Garden of Gethsemane. He transferred his royal line from the Lion House of David back through King Solomon, Lemuria, Atlantis, Sirius star system to Source. These are the organic wealth codes for the planet. And this is in the New Earth Magical Money Goddess, $697 value. You can pick any two of these courses at your choice, equaling gifts of over $1,400 when you sign up so you get these as your bonus, your thank you, your divine radiant next level opening when you sign up and join us for 999 Portal, New Eden Rising, the Priestess Pilgrimage Retreat. And so I invite you to take advantage of this. It's only 24 hours. This will go down. This will be taken off after tomorrow night. Pacific time, and you'll no longer be able to receive those prices and the payment plan ends. And so this is the offer to you, sister, to step into your next calling. And who is feeling the call? Like, raise your hand. Who's feeling something in Lemuria? Yeah, Beverly, Joy. All right. We have sister. I wanted to just celebrate our sister Stephanie just signed up this morning. Our sister Christy from Australia just signed up yesterday for a queen room, and we only have a few spots left. And so if you're feeling the call, sister, I really invite you to join. Now, this is going to be off-road. We're going to walk on it's not, in America, if you're American, everything's to code, everything's perfect stairs. It is not in Bali. There is rain, it's slippery. We're going to go off some sites. So you have to be okay with that, because I take you off grid. I don't take you just to the tourist site. I take you, yes, we do a few that are well traveled, but there's many that aren't. And so you have to be ready for that. And I wear plastic shoes. I wish I had my Havianas. I wear these Havianas. I love them. They're $30, and I wear plastic shoes because you're going to get wet in Bali. So are you okay with getting a little wet? You're going to get blessed by the rains. It's one of our temples is actually the rain falling on you. And then the rest will be going to incredible portals of light and opening this next level. And so, and this really reminds me of, before we wrap, I want to share with you, because sometimes when we are finally choose ourselves, it feels so good that we're actually surprised when you finally choose yourself. And I wanted to share, I'm in a mastermind of one of my coaches, and I saw a post from one of the members, and she was sharing about how her coaching business is on fire and all her results. And it was like almost unbelievable. And she was so excited and felt so authentic and just so bubbly. And it was like, caught my attention. And then 2 months later, she posts another post, even more incredible results and even more unbelievable about her and her community. And she offered that she was going to be offering a 3-day free event on how she did that. And so I was very curious, skeptical, but very curious. But she was so excited, and it was like so bubbly. And I just was like, wow, what is going on? I've never seen, I have done very well in my life, and I have never seen numbers like that. And someone who probably could be my daughter. And so I was like looking at that. And so I was a little bit skeptical, but I got my journal and I got my pens, and I joined and I registered for her free event. And as I immersed in her 3-day event, what she showed me was what I had been calling in and even praying for months, if not years. And she wasn't the person that I thought that would ever show me that and that I'd ever resonate with. And I felt this excitement that I hadn't felt in months, if not years. that excitement that just bubbled up within me, that joy. I even did a live and I was in my bathing suit on the beach with a flower in my hair. And I was just so in that frequency and I was just sharing my offering. And I came from like a new place and excitement, not a, oh, I got to do a video. I got to share this. It was like, I had fun. I like launching on vacation. Like I just was having so much fun. It was like a new excitement that I was feeling in my body that she inspired in me. And this joy started to open me in my body, and I hadn't felt that in so long. And then I saw it's a 5-figure investment. It was like, what? And I felt the fear and I got tight and I've never spent that much money on myself. And I started to get really hot inside. And then all the doubt came in. Have you ever had that happen where you're like, yay? And then who do you think you are? How are you going to do that? And it was the how and the whys. And it was like, and then questions came up in my mind like, what if she's too young and I don't relate? And what if she's not really helpful in person? Like she's really fun in her events, but not in person. And on and on and on my mind went. And I had all these reasons why not. And I wasn't choosing me in that moment. I was choosing why not. I was finding all the reasons why not to do it, why not to step in. And I was actually arguing against myself. Like, why not to step into my next level of I wanted those results. So I wanted what she was showing me. And I was like talking myself out of it. And I felt by working with her and the women in her community, they had much bigger businesses than me. And it would push my edges. And I was resisting big time. I don't know if you've ever felt something and you're resisting. What I've learned is resisting is you're at the edge of your next level. You're at the edge of your capacity. And it means a new answer and solution is on its way. And how many of us give into our resistance and we stop? And I was like on that edge. It would stretch me. I knew it. And I was sitting in my couch, in my shorts, freaking out, shaking. And I just didn't know the next step to take, but I kind of did inside. Paying 5 figures for a coach? Like I was changing my identity in that moment. I'd never spent that kind of money on myself. I had never chosen myself before at that level for the first time. No proving myself to someone, no going solo, lone wolfing it, making tons of mistakes. I stopped waiting for permission to choose. And when I clicked that button to pay, I was so calm. I had changed my identity in that moment. I chose myself. Chose myself. And when we choose ourselves, then people start to choose us. It's a frequency, it's an identity. What are you desiring right now? And that's putting yourself first, that desire first. And I had put myself first for the first time. And I never looked back after that. And where are you choosing? And what are you desiring? And what's that next level for you? Because there's a calling on your life. You have powerful soul gifts. You are a creator, wayshower, and leader of this new golden age. Whether you actively understand that, offer that, or you're like, what? It's the first time you're hearing that. If you're here, you are. And before you leave the planet, what do you want to leave? A half-life of like, yeah, I gave a little bit. I couldn't really step to that next level, but I gave some of what are my gifts. Is that okay in that last breath that you take? Or you gave it all, you sang your song, and you have no song left in you because you shared it. You stood on sacred sites, you activated your codes, you helped humanity, you sang your gifts, you shared your gifts, and you stepped in your truth and your wisdoms. How many of you are ready to step into that next level in your life? Raise your hands. It's not always easy. It's the big decision. The big decisions are the unknown. Those big decisions that you make don't have the bridge already built. They don't have the outcome. The big decisions have no outcome, like when I stepped away from my clothing business. I stepped into the unknown. I stepped away from everything I knew that was working great. Yes, I was empty. Yes, I was depleted. Yes, knew there was something more. But I stepped into the unknown and I trusted. I made a huge decision. And what are you willing to step through? People say, oh, it's crazy. What are you picking up and going to a foreign land to go to a retreat. What do you think you're doing? The one thing you have to leave behind is what others will say. That doubt, that worry. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't. If your son or daughter was needing a emergency surgery and it costed $10,000, you'd find the money, wouldn't you? Yes, we'd find the money. So it's not about money. It's not about time. It's not about what others think. It's about what you think about yourself, what you are willing to say yes to. And that sister, you'll be with us. We'll be walking together arm in arm, and I invite you to just feel into that falling in love with your sisters, healing any sister wounds, healing that part that you haven't been really touching. When sisters, we get jealous, or there's comparison, or we don't trust, or there's betrayal. I've been through that too. And that was part of why I didn't want to share my gifts. And why I just wanted to stay in little circles and charge $16 and stay in that. But that wasn't my mission. That wasn't my soul calling. And so I invite you to tap into your soul calling. What is your mission? What is your yes? What is your truth? Because any challenge that you're facing is because you have a huge gift on the other side. And to become the woman and the leader you came here to be. And I'm cheering you on, and I'm here for you. And all we need is our community, our sacred sisterhood, and that trust in ourselves. It's the Aquarian age. It's no longer the Piscean age, beloved. The hero's journey, walking alone. That is not the journey that we're here. It is, we walk together, hand in hand, and open this new golden age together. You hold deep codes, and you have been looking for a container, a retreat, a sisterhood, a community that can meet you. And you have met that. This is that answer. This is the creators and leaders and wayshowers of the new golden age. This is Light Priestess Temple. Our mission is to live your highest destiny. And I look forward to you witnessing you quantum leap and falling in love with your sisters and falling in love with yourself again. And sometimes it takes someone else showing that to us to realize, wow, that's really been missing. I've been living in a box. I've been creating a prison for myself. I'm not letting myself meet my sisters. I'm not letting myself just go to a beautiful part of the world and open my sacred gifts and give back to the world and be in sisterhood and be in ceremony and be nourished from deep within. And I invite you to join us for the 999 Portal, the New Eden Rising Priestess Pilgrimage Retreat, September 4th through 10th. And be the code that opens the new golden age. Early bird ends tomorrow, and the payment plan ends tomorrow, and you get your bonuses. That all is in there for you. Claim your sacred spot within the circle. And let's dance and celebrate. And if you have any questions, post them in the chat before we close. We've gone a little long. And so I want to honor our time. And we're going to dance and integrate our codes and what we opened. And I'm going to first plug in my computer because hold on for a second. Oh, there goes the phone. Hold on. It got buried. Okay, gotta have connection. So anyone have any questions? They'd love answered while we're here. You have my attention. You have my undivided full channel. If anyone has any questions. The prices. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, everyone can see that? So we have the early bird price of a queen bedroom is $2,899 US, and the payment plan, which is ending tomorrow, you can do 3 monthly payment plans for $1,047 each month. And this is at lightpriestesstemple.com. This is the 999 portal. I'm showing you the 999 portal Bali Priestess Pilgrimage page, and I'll be posting I'll post the link in the chat, and then also in your replay, you'll get the link. And you can also go to lightpriestesstemple.com. And then we have the twin room, which is $2,399 US, pay in full, and then $847 3-month payment plan, early bird price. And these prices are ending, and you get your bonuses and you get these early bird prices. and you get that next level opening. And these are the sisters from the 777 portal activation. And so just take in those, the prices are going to go up and the payment plan is going to end. So these are the two accommodations, a twin bed share room based on double occupancy. And then your private, if you like, oh, I have to have my own room. I'm the queen. And so then have the queen bedroom where you get your own private bedroom and bath, and with views of the rice fields. And each villa has a pool, each are all 5-star. And then we will have one temple that has the ceremony space. And so these are the prices and these are what are ending. And so I invite you to take advantage. Thank you for reminding me. I get into like other levels and like the most important part, like what's the price? So thank you for sharing and opening. Yes. And so I invite you to join us. Anyone have any questions? While I'm here, before we dance and we open and we grid our codes, those codes that we opened, and invite you to journal more today and really take time today for what came in and listen to this in replay because I shared a lot, and you'll walk away from this Bali Priestess pilgrimage with your any sisterhood wounds healed, this codes of the new earth within you as an activated Lemurian temple priestess initiated within the Lemurian temples, blessed by the High Priestess of Bali and the sacred Milikat ceremony, and this freedom for your mission, your purpose, and a code holder of the new golden codes for the new earth. This is very, just incredibly powerful and sacred. And this is a big soul contract, a yes. And if you're feeling that yes in your body, I'm here. You can reach out and DM me if you have some more questions. And as we open our music to dance and grid our golden codes, and I invite you to stand. This is Goddess Rising, one of my favorites. And just start to move your body as we open up these codes, letting out anything that no longer serves us so the new can emerge. Everything we opened and activated today at your sacred site, at your vision, your feeling, and your calling. You are the leaders and wayshowers of the new golden age. I am so honored to be with you and to share this sacred space as you open to this next level within you. This queen, this leader, this Lemurian priestess holding up the codes. Moving your hips, bending your knees, really opening up those parts of you. We've been sitting for a while. Some circles. Infinity symbol in the hips. We dance and celebrate these codes opening, this new next level for the Aquarian age of Mother Gaia, opening up of the Lemurian Codex, including the new earth codes and the temples and waterfalls and sacred waterways and oceans of Bali, with the whales, the dolphins, and the mermaids. The goddess is rising within you, sister. Can't wait to walk with you in Bali and in Light Priestess Temple. We have so much coming up. It's just on fire. All the things, miracles happening, Royal Golden Sikkim, all of it. I'm so excited. I'm so honored you're here to share this time with me. And I send you so much blessings. Keep dancing and always remember to live your highest destiny. Much love. Sending you so much love. Let me just do a gallery. And I send you so much love, sisters. Mwah, mwah, kisses. Can't wait to hug you in Bali. Can't wait. Much love. Kisses.